Shalom, family. There are some people who have a misunderstanding of the scriptures and what the scriptures teach, and it is an intellectual misunderstanding, meaning they have been taught something a particular way, and that is what they're following, and it may not be correct, but they don't have a heart of iniquity. They don't have a heart that is trying to go astray from the Most High. They don't have intentions or will or some kind of corruption that is causing them to walk in a way that is not complete when it comes to the things of the Most High. It is just that they've intellectually, their understanding has been guided on a certain path. And when you're dealing with a person like that, or if you are that person, the Most High has two barriers to that person turning, right? The person has to overcome fear, and that person has to overcome pride. So first is a sense of pride, that the person has to accept the fact that there's something that they might not know. Okay, so they have to be willing to humble themselves and accept that there's something that they may not know, and allow themselves to be instructed or redirected. And that is a barrier. And then also in doing that, it's also the barrier of fear, because the person may not trust what they are being told. They may not trust that they need to make a change. So imagine it like this. Imagine it's a person who has directions, or maybe they're using their GPS, or they have some kind of directions for where they're going, but they've never been there before. And, they are not getting to their destination. So now they're going to have to either, they can keep trying to find it on their own, or keep, sticking to whatever directions that they may have, even though they're not finding their destination, because that will be pride keeping them from, or they can humble themselves and maybe make a phone call, or maybe do some searching or ask somebody along the way. So they would have to overcome that pride to ask somebody for help to get, on the right path. And then when they get those instructions from someone, then there's the fear of, is this person telling me the right way? Or should I just trust what I've been doing? So those are the two barriers when a person just truly has an intellectual misunderstanding and is misguided. Because once they make that turn, once they can humble themselves and get past fear and just trust in trust in the Most High, and trust in that Him to take them to another direction and humble themselves, then now they have a correct understanding, and they can go on their way, because it wasn't a issue of the heart, an issue of the will or the intentions or any corruption in them that was causing them to be going in the wrong direction. It was just misinformation, misguided. It was just misdirected. Okay. That's why the Most High is in the scriptures, Yahusha and the Most High, when the prophets are speaking, they come harshly at leaders who lead astray, because the people are trusting, and leaders teach and block the way to truth by their teachings and by their false teaching and false prophecy. That is hardly come against, because you're misguiding people who don't necessarily have a wrong heart, but that are trusting in what you're feeding them and how you're shepherding them, right? But then you have another type of person who has understanding. They know the directions. They've been there before. They know how to get to where they're going. So, but imagine you're riding with somebody. You're in an Uber, or you're in a cab, or you're in something, and the person is driving. The GPS is telling them where to go. They've probably been there before. They know where to go, but for some reason they make a right turn, and you're looking like, why are you turning off the road? Why did you turn here? This is not, and this person has something malicious in their heart, so they're not getting to the destination because of some other motive that they have, some other agenda. There's something going on inside of them. Either they're trying to make you late. Maybe they have their own plan, that they're going somewhere, and they want to go a different route. Maybe they're trying to kidnap you. Maybe they're, whatever the case may be, they have some other agenda, some other thing going on in their heart. They have corruption. So even though they know the way, they know the directions, they know the instructions, but there's something corrupt in their heart. So this is why they're going off the path. So that's an example of another type of person who is rejecting the truth of the Most High, who is outright not accepting it. They know it. They've been, you may have brought them to understanding. They may see it, or maybe you may have seen something, but the person does not accept it and not embrace it, not because they don't understand, but because there's some level of corruption inside the heart, inside the will, the intentions, inside the being of the person that identifies with falsehood, that identifies with this variant path, that's identifying with this other way, that has some kind of other intentions or agendas that is keeping them on the wrong path. So my reason for sharing this is because you have to be anybody who, as we fall into these categories, if we fall into these categories, then we need to recognize that. But if you are dealing with people, you have to make sure that you're not condemning somebody for having a misunderstanding. And when someone who has a misunderstanding can be redirected, we got to break past pride, we got to break past fear, but that person can be instructed. If their heart is correct, they can be instructed in the right way, but if a person, but there's other people who are corrupt in their hearts, and you can't instruct them in the right way, because it's their inner being that is rejecting the way the Most High, is rejecting light, is rejecting truth, so, but a lot of times people act as if everybody falls into that category. Everybody is walking in a different way because they're just wicked, or because they're idolaters, or because they're liars, or because they're some people treat everybody like they fall into the category of having a corrupt heart, when it's not the case at all. It's not the case that everyone has a corrupt heart. Some people have just been misguided and need to be guided back to the right path, sent back to the right path. So not everybody falls into that category of, just being a corrupt person, but a lot of times I see, I look online or whatever the case may be, and people are throwing everybody into this category as if the reason why they're walking in a certain understanding is because they're just wicked. Well, there are people who have the right understanding, like we said, but their hearts are wicked. They have the right teaching. They're outwardly doing the right things, but they have a corrupt heart and are leading people astray. So we have to discern. We have to discern our interactions and not make these broad sweeping statements or broad sweeping categories of people, and label people and put and condemn people. And the Most High can't really use us the way that He wants to use us if our perception of people is that, oh, this, they're just wicked. Oh, they're just this. We have to have discernment. We have to have a love and a compassion and mercy for people, and the discernment to see what the Most High is doing with this person and what's doing in their life. This is if you want to be effective in reaching people. If you want to be effective in being a witness for the Most High, we go and we see what the Most High is doing with the person, and we meet them where they're at, not based on our perceptions, but where the Most High is revealing that they're at. That this person just need to be guided. Do we need to pray for this person to relinquish their pride? Do we need to pray for fear? For the person to come to a place of where they feel comfortable, or come into the right environment where they feel comfortable to be able to ask questions and explore and get a better understanding. Or you're dealing with somebody that's just reprobate, somebody who willfully is just rejecting the Most High. We got to make that distinction and act accordingly, because then a person may either be reprobate, or they may just have issues of the heart that need deliverance, or that needs deliverance, and that needs healing, and that needs to be ministered to, so that stumbling block and that barrier can be removed out of the way, so that they can, cast down those idols and cast down those stumbling blocks and those things, those weights that are keeping them from embracing and walking in the truth. So I just wanted to share that because that was in my spirit to share. And prayerfully we can move into a season where we're being more effective witnesses of the truth of the Most High Yah, in His Word, and just seek to have the heart of Him, to have His heart as we minister and as we engage and interact with His people. All right, shalom, and just a quick shout out to this. I'm gonna post a link to the sister who did this hoodie because I like it, I appreciate it, and I'm gonna put a link to her site below the video. And shalom.